that just if he decides the other person should have it, is it possible for him to give it to another person?
Ask what you want to ask.
If a person has found the truth, is it possible for that person to
ask what you want to ask? If you're only asking hypotheticals, I'm not interested.
No, because honestly, I'm in a place where I feel it's not by effort. At one point, somebody has to be compassionate and decide to give it to you. And I could be wrong, and I'm just trying to find out.
So who is the you? Are you the giver of the truth, or
no? I want to
ask what
it.
you want to ask.
I want to receive it from somebody, and I feel
okay. So speak plain. So speak plain English. Don't dress it up. Don't turn it into a hypothetical. Don't turn it into. Just speak complete English, second grade level. Ask exactly what the situation is and what you want to ask. Don't summarize.
I feel I've made enough effort. I feel that at this point, it can only come from another person who's established in that truth or has found the truth already. And there is no other way I would get it. Is that true?
It depends what you mean by get. And when I say that, you know that I know what get means, right?
Yep.
So before you give a reflexive answer, there must be a reason why I'm asking the question, right? So it would not be wise to just blah 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 respond and give me the dictionary definition of get, right? So you know that I'm asking. There's a reason why I'm asking the question. So it depends what you mean by get.
I would say that I'm in a place where for me to just be in the present, be now, and I've had glimpses of how nice that is, but I can't work myself to be there all the time, or that there are parts of me
and the very fact that you're trying to do that is really the remnants of spirituality and all of the jargon and all of the nonsense and all of the information and stuff that has bled into you. One really must, in order for the possibility for truth to even occur, there must be room for it. And if all the room is filled with the stuff, then there hasn't been there has to be a cleansing of some sort of nonsense. Otherwise, how can something else fit in? So everyone is filled with things, ideas, and concepts, and it's not a matter of it's their fault or not their fault. That's just the way it is, and because they've been living in the world, and all of these things have gotten into them, and they've subscribed to these notions. And I don't think, nobody will ever realize. I don't even think in a million years. The depth to which they've been destroyed by the world, by spirituality, by self-help, by society, by all of the information that's available on the web and all the books that are written in the media. No one will understand it. No one. You may hear the words, but you're not going to get it. It's too much. It's too much. It is literally every human being has been given cyanide, and they look upon what I just said, and they view what I just said as a dramatic overstatement. They view what I just said about the cyanide as a exaggeration, or they view it as symbolic. And because they view it as symbolic and as over dramatization and hyperbole and exaggeration, they can't understand. because they don't think it's real. They and it isn't my interest to make them think it's real. I don't care. But to them that's just words. To you it's just words. Not because people want it to be words, not because they don't want to understand. It's it's just too much. It's like me saying that when you go out into the air, the air is filled with this noxious substance that transforms your cortex 5% each day, and at the end of the year, if you do an MRI on your brain, it's twisted. Like, I mean, that would be dramatic, and that would be hyperbole. But if I said that, that would be viewed as fantastical, and rightly so. That should be viewed as fantastical because it isn't an MRI and structural issue. But when I say that all of the stuff and the jargon and the prescriptions and the conditioning and all of these things have been given to you as pure cyanide, and you have been dead for a very long time since you were a very small child, that is viewed in the same way as me saying that when you leave your house every day and the 5% noxious or 5% change in your brain happens and your brain is twisted, you view it in the same way. And that's a problem. And there's a problem for me, it's a problem for you. It's a problem for you because you will it will be very difficult for you to get past the notion and the belief that that is exaggeration, that that is hyperbole. You will not want to view it as cyanide. You might think, oh well, he's just over dramatizing it. Okay, what he's basically saying is that the things I've been given not really true and it's fine. You don't understand. You don't understand. When you've been fed something for your entire life, then that changes the way that you think. That and what you think changes the way that you behave. And all these things change what you believe. So, what you believe and what you think based upon the information that you've been given, completely 100% in the most practical, immediate, moment to moment, day to day living reality, that doesn't affect your life, that is your life. If you've been told that you're living in France, but you actually live in India, but you're convinced that you live in France, that isn't a small thing because you will go outside and look for the Eiffel Tower. Your behavior, this is not theoretical. This is not a minor thing. It's your entire life. You might even go outside and start speaking French. And because you speak French, then you will fail all your courses in school. And you will destroy all your relationships. So, like, everything I say, no matter how much it seems to me dramatized, you know what the truth is? The truth is that I can't dramatize it enough. And that if you are wise or want to be, you will take whatever I say and bump it up about 4 million times. But there aren't enough adjectives for me to 4 million X it. X it, not EXIT. X space it. Words can't 4 million X it. I can't, I could add every adjective in the English language, it still wouldn't. That's your job. So when you are filled with all of these things, then those things become you and you become them. You become a French person. I'm not disparaging French, it's just an example. Don't send me any nonsense or I'll block you. You speak French, you think you're in France, um, you you look for French food. Everything you do is wrong. It's wrong according to your circumstance. Now, if you were in France and you were told that you were French, okay, fine. You've been told the truth. Now, whenever you go and speak French and you look for French food, you won't have problems. So, this is one of those if there's one message thing, right? Like, when you, like, everything that comes out of, I'm not picking on you, it's everybody. Everything that comes out of a human being's mouth, why does it come out? Did he think of those words? Of course not. Those words come out because they first went in. So when someone says, the consciousness of the plane of consciousness and the love of this and all this garbage, right? That wasn't the person. That was what was fed to them. So the understanding of just how much you have been destroyed. There's even destroyed as minor because now why is it destroyed? Because if you were not fed those things, you absolutely would have been in a different place. That's not even theoretical. I'm not saying that you would have been richer or this or that. I'm not going to give you the detail. But if you were not fed things that weren't true, then even if you were not fed the truth, fine. But you still would have been looking. And when you would have been looking, you would have been looking knowing that you haven't been fed the truth, and so you're looking for the truth. And therefore, number one, it would allow you the possibility to look. That's one. Because if you are fed nonsense, obviously you're going to believe that nonsense is not nonsense, otherwise you would never eat it. But you keep eating it and drinking it and reading it and listening to it. So no one would do that if they thought it was nonsense. So everyone is in a place where they've been fed the nonsense and they believe that nonsense is real. So therefore, they don't even look. Why would they? I don't blame them. Why would you look if you think you already have it? So number one, that's what it does. It takes away the search. Okay. Number two, when you are searching with a clear mind. Because when you are searching, you're not searching and then testing everything against the lies you've been told to see if that's true or not. Because you're convinced that the consciousness of the blah, 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 and the blee, 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 and the guru X and guru Y, and the stoicism, and the social influencer, and the latest hack, and the mindfulness in the jungle, and like I could talk for the totality of everyone's life in this room combined, and I wouldn't be able to exhaust the garbage that's in your head. Okay? And it's gone beyond your head. It's into your bones and your liver and your spleen and your blood. There's almost no getting it out because one has to be savagely wild and determined to be convinced that it's lies and therefore he wants to get it out. That's we know. So that's destruction. Yeah. That's putting a person into a cage and throwing away the key. Because he's finished. The conditioning is complete. He's done. Society never has to worry about him again. He has drank the Kool-Aid and he is conditioned to seek more Kool-Aid for the rest of his life. So that is more destruction than even losing a limb. That's more destruction than anything because it destroys your whole life. Because you are convinced of lies, and that being convinced of lies, your life is a lie now. That's it. You're dead. You're clinically alive, but you're dead. Because nothing you believe is true. From any sentence that you utter, even the question that you ask, and once again, I don't mean you, I mean everyone. Starting with the word the, it's a lie because it's based upon assumptions. And if you have no assumptions, you can't speak. You're not going to ask a question. But all of those assumptions come from the substrate of the ingredients, the raw materials that you've been fed for your whole life. So you've been given the lettuce and the tomatoes and the onions and so forth. And when you speak, you are making a salad. Fine. But that salad that you are making is from the onions and tomatoes and lettuce that you've been given. It isn't from onions and tomatoes and lettuce that you made up yourself. You didn't create those, and they were given to you, and that's fine too. The problem is those onions, tomatoes, and lettuce were given to you by the world. They were given to you by spirituality. They're given to you by self-help. They were given to you by self-development. They were given to you by gurus. They're given to you by your parents. They're given to you by your friends and society and the world. Basically, everything outside your window. And because of that, any word that you speak is composed of those tomatoes, onions. So everything you say is a lie. Every assumption is a lie. Everything you think is a lie. Not because you're a liar, not because you're trying to be dishonest, not because you're mean and evil and try to mislead people. Nothing to do with that. It's all you know. So until one understands the level of destruction without any feeling that that is an over dramatization or hyperbole, exaggeration, until that happens, he's just going to keep asking nonsense because the nonsense is going to be composed of the poisonous lettuce and tomatoes and onions.